Damage CTRL just hinted at some major things, so we'll see what could be coming their way. We'll also check out what's new with Karrion Kross, returning superstars, and much more. Starting things off with the new developments for Bayley and Damage CTRL. The last few weeks have been full of miscommunication and a lot of unfortunate bad-looking moments for Bayley and the rest of the group. But the December 15th edition of Smackdown ended up going in a surprisingly different direction for the group. They were all on the same page, and things just turned out smoother than ever. Even though they're still a part of the overall Damage CTRL group, WWE has now established that Asuka and Kairi Sane are officially back in the swing of things inside the women's tag team division as the Kabuki Warriors. And their first tag team match together in over 3 years was on SmackDown against Zelina Vega and Mia Yim. Things were looking pretty scary for the Kabuki Warriors until both Dakota Kai and Bayley got involved in the closing moments of the match. Dakota Kai distracted the referee, while Bayley shoved Mia Yim off the top rope and onto the mat. Asuka and Kairi did mop-up duty from there and cleaned up the mess to pick up the win. It was the first time in a long time that a plan actually went the right way for Damage CTRL, which you could argue was long overdue after their long stretch of nearly everything going wrong. So, it was a week where the night ended smoothly for every single Damage CTRL member, even for Bayley, who has been looking like an outsider in recent weeks. Everything was all perfect there for her and the rest of the group. Also featured on SmackDown was a little backstage video package that truly highlighted each individual Damage CTRL member and their very big plans for 2024. Bayley opened it up by talking about her belief in Io Sky, saying that she knew Io was destined to win the Money in the Bank contract and become WWE Women's Champion. Io said that it was her era now, how she's the most dangerous and powerful champion in all of WWE, and how no one can stop her. Bayley then spoke about Asuka and Kairi Sane, saying that they will most definitely capture the WWE Women's Tag Team titles again in 2024. Bayley then spoke about herself, saying that she'll win the Royal Rumble, defeat Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title, and bring that title back to Damage CTRL. Bayley didn't really highlight Dakota Kai much at all because Dakota isn't technically cleared to compete right now, but Dakota still had a line about how it was time for them all to change the game. Bayley responded to Dakota Kai by saying that was spoken like a true mastermind. And it's that line right there that has several fans analyzing it and wondering if that itself could be foreshadowing. Dakota Kai won't be cleared to compete in the ring until the next few months of early 2024. But until she's back in the ring, is Dakota Kai's role being the main brains and mastermind of the group? That appears to be what Bayley was hinting at as far as when it comes to Dakota Kai's position and goal in the group. Io is the champion and will continue to be champion. Bayley wants to go after Rhea's title, Kabuki Warriors will go after the tag team titles, and Dakota Kai will overlook it all as the main architect of group operations. And considering that she's now being hinted at as the group's mastermind, fans are wondering if it will be Dakota Kai who will be doing all the game planning and strategy for when it comes to Damage CTRL, kicking Bayley out of the group. If Dakota Kai comes up with this big elaborate plan to help the group overthrow Bayley, then that would really establish Dakota as the true mastermind for sure. So that's something that fans are really diving into. They just find it very interesting that Bayley called her a mastermind, because that could come back and bite Bayley when she least expects it. But it was a solid backstage promo to reintroduce the new Damage CTRL and highlight each individual member. They all have a clear goal for 2024, and that's for all of them to win every single title that's available to them to win in the women's division. Io stays with her title, Bayley gets the women's world title, Warriors get the tag team titles, and Dakota Kai is really like the only one that doesn't have a title to chase. So maybe that will be an interesting dynamic that will play there once Dakota Kai is cleared to compete. Maybe Dakota Kai clashes with Bayley and Io a bit because she also wants to go after one of those singles titles. But after so many weeks of misfortunate events, it looks like this week was a nice refresher for Damage CTRL to get them back on track. The backstage promo also made Bayley look like the unquestioned leader again, so we'll see how long that lasts. Some fans are also wondering if Charlotte Flair's recent injury threw a wrench into what WWE was potentially planning for Bayley's dismissal from Damage CTRL. One popular fan theory that was out there that does sound pretty interesting was the idea of Bayley getting kicked out of Damage CTRL, but getting backed up by her longtime real friend Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair, setting up a huge 4-on-4 match between the 4 WWE horsewomen and the 4 remaining members of Damage CTRL. So if that was the big plan for early or mid-2024, that would have been a massive match for every single woman involved in it. But that match is obviously off the table for now, since Charlotte will be missing for a majority of 2024. But you have your fans out there that are still holding out hope that Damage CTRL storyline will lead towards Sasha Banks' return to the WWE. So we'll have to see how that story continues to unfold. Karrion Kross got fans hyped this week with his recent mysterious promo. A Karrion Kross push has been something that's been sprinkled in reports dating back to summer, but we've never really seen it take off at all. Even just a few weeks ago, he was still losing matches. But the December 15th promo from him was very interesting and hinted at some big things. Kross said that he wanted to warn everybody about a very urgent event that was about to take place. He said that this is something that's been in motion ever since he walked through the door in 2022. He talked about a new beginning and how everything was about to crumble. Kross also heavily used the word "we" several times in this promo. Now, technically, he's not alone, it's him and Scarlett, but the way he used the word "we" has everyone thinking that the big thing he's referring to is him leading a new faction. The biggest fan guess for who could be inside this faction right now is the Authors of Pain. They've been on the main roster before under Seth Rollins' power, but they were released. And now they've been rumored to quietly be back with WWE for a while now. So a lot of fans are looking at them as potential members for this new Kross faction. There was even some fans discussing Uncle Howdy's possible involvement in the group. And although it would be nice to see him again for sure, it doesn't seem like he'll be a good fit for the group. He may seem a bit out of place there. But either way, it definitely seems like something is brewing up there with Kross. One fan on Instagram even pointed out something interesting. They noted that everyone Kross has been facing in recent weeks all turn heel. Maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. But Karrion Kross even responded to that fan and said that they get it. So it'll be an interesting start to 2024 for Karrion Kross by the looks of things. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.